And we are live, I believe. Let me just check. Yep. Alright, audio's working. Video's working. My hand is working. Welcome, everyone, to another live stream. First one in quite a while, I think. I'm pretty sure I haven't done one in several weeks. Usually I do like a live stream a week, or maybe every 2 weeks. When was my last one? May 18th? Really? Wow, okay, so it's been quite a while. Hope you're all doing well. It's just me tonight. Nobody on a call or anything, but that's subject to change. Sometimes. It's a miracle Ty's arm is working. Yeah. Just the one I hold the camera with in every video. Saw Eddie and Rocky in a flea market today. I'm pretty sure they've been going up in price. Were they good condition? Basically anything Cars Tunes is expensive. There are exceptions. There are certainly exceptions. But Eddie and Rocky are a lot more expensive than I might think, you know? Have any more Todds been found in cars on the road? No, I think at this point I'm gonna make a video on that just to try to spread awareness. Hope a lot of people see it, and we could all team up to try to find them. Let's see how much Eddie and Rocky are going for. Okay, 30 bucks, 18, 22, 20. Little all over the place. 20, 14, 25. Okay, so around 20. How many IVs? Well, considering they only made one, I have the one that they made, and that's it. She was in the 3-pack. I didn't need to buy duplicates. Yeah, I mean, the Drummer Pity, if you were to ask me what my most wanted Cars Tunes new release is, I don't think I would say the Drummer Pity, because I kind of always forget that they didn't make the Drummer Pity. I definitely answer something like Matador McQueen first, but if they are to ever make like one new Heavy Metal Mater item, Heavy Metal Mater is a short that that's pretty pretty solid assortment of items, right? We have most of the significant characters compared to some other cartoons. Then we also have Rodney the Rocker, who appears nowhere. So yeah, I mean, the Drummer Pity is the easiest choice, of course. How do you just open things that are so rare and old? I physically can't. Well, I mean, number one, to me, just having them sit around in the box doesn't really mean much. I want it open, I want to review it so I could do a video on it, so that I could have it sitting in my collection with the other items. For me, being able to have an item with all my other ones unboxed and being able to review it and everything is a lot more important to me, because it adds a lot more personal value than just keeping it in the box. I know some people may not like that I go around opening rare items, but to me, that's just what I like to do. The Blue Delivery Pity, as long as he comes with the, as long as he comes with the slab of metal. Did the Tex Dynaco recolor get a release? He did, yeah, twice, I think. Yeah, the Drummer Pity and Mia and Tia. I was going to say Mia and Tia. Those would be fun variants. Would you open Race Damage Mood Springs? I'm not entirely sure. I probably would, but you're implying that I would be able to afford or find him. I probably would, yeah. I love the Star Wars cars. I'm a very big Star Wars fan. If you couldn't tell from the fact that I probably talk about Star Wars in my videos more than I do cars sometimes. Yeah, I saw them all back in the day. I just wish I got more. I have Chick Hicks, Red, Luigi Guido, one of the Vader Maters, and I think that's it. But I saw all of them, and I should have bought them all, man. They're all expensive now. I also have the Ewok Pities. Do you think it's weird the GRC is missing a few racers from Cars 2? Yeah, I honestly hope that especially Rip, I don't know, I'd kind of expect Rip to be missing. Jeff and Lewis being gone is the biggest disappointment to me, and also the fact that there's no Nigel. I've been trying to collect every variant of Nigel Gearsley for quite a while, so it was a little disappointing. It was kind of relieving knowing that I don't have to get another Nigel Gearsley, but it's also a little upsetting that one of my favorite, You think you found Rodney, then sure, yeah. I've had a lot of people tell me they think they found Rodney. I think we just need to let it go and accept that he's not there. I think, honestly, we would have found him by now. A late night rock band. Yeah, I hope, honestly, that next year they continue the GRC just so that we could get those last few World Grand Prix racers. I don't know if they will, considering the fact that the mini racers line isn't including them and they're making an exclusive, like, Mater variant for GRC. I don't expect them to do more GRC next year. But it would be nice to do maybe, like, 5. What's the Grem thing? This is the... I bought this at a flea market. I reviewed it a few months ago. It's a launcher that looks like the bathroom. We ever try to get the Kmart rubber tires cars? I don't know. The only one I want is the Dale Earnhardt Jr. because he's different than the normal one. I don't really have a need to. I might someday if I ever find one for really cheap. You know, there's not really a need because they're exactly identical, and just staying on my shelf, it's just gonna look like I have 2 of whatever item, you know? Maybe if it's one that looks really different and I only have the Thailand variant. How do you get the cars off the bathroom? The only way is to launch them. So if you press a button, I have the little launcher keys in here with Grem. There's a button on the back. Yeah, I remember Blue Collection's playset his didn't work. But, yeah, it's kind of gross. It just has the key part sticking out. But, if you'd prefer, you can launch them separately. Guys, I gotta review the Porto Corsa set. I keep forgetting that I have that one still to open. I remember taking out the tires of my Kmart visiting a racers like they blew a tire. Now my Lee Rifkins and Ernie Garrison are just missing all their tires. Imagine we got a GRC Cam Spinner or some other cars for your racer. I like the fact that we're only getting ones that are significant to the franchise. I've heard some people suggest we get, like, the King or Chick Hicks GRC, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a cool idea. But I would prefer we don't. That'd be weird. I do probably have to get the Nigel Gearsley, yes, yeah, there's finally a new Glow Racers wave. Yeah, Dan Garcia looks good. GRC Chick Hicks would look really cool. Definitely. How many Grem recolors? Well, they're not really Grem recolors, they're just other gremlins. But there are several Grem variants. There's Don Crumlin, Jay Kirby Gremlin, Tyler Gremlin, there are, I believe, 2 Gremlins with torches. Then there's Greebles, who's a different mold. I really hope they don't. If they include background racers in the GRC, I'm gonna be so upset. I think it's done after this. The Glow Racers are $21 where I live. Yikes. Will you ever get the rest of the Silver Racers from Cars 2? I'm not sure. The Silver Racers line is probably the cheapest TROC line to finish, right? I'm not sure. As of right now, I have Francesco, Nigel, and Jeff. Robin just sent me Jeff. Then I have the 2020 Silver Collection cars. The Silver Racers are very hit or miss. Some I really like how they look, some I don't. But I'm not really planning on finishing any sets, really. I really hope we just desperately need a regular Rip Clutch Gonski re-release. His original release was in the first wave of Thailand cards, so he looked pretty rough. I think if they made him again, they would probably do what they did with Rich Mixon and really improve him. Hopefully make him chip less easily, because mine's had this big honking dent in him for 4 years, and I really want a replacement. I'm not usually the type to, you know, want a replacement when I have a dent on my car, but that one is bad. What are your thoughts on the Glee cover of Maroon 5's Misery? How do you think it compares to the original? Purple Toad, you're probably... it makes so much sense that you would in fact be a Gleek. I don't know, I haven't watched Glee. And I'd like to keep it that way. I think. Misery by Maroon 5 goes hard, though. How many piston cap racers do you currently have? I have everyone from the first movie except the 2 they haven't re-released since After Cars 3, so Ernie and Eugene Carbureski. Then I have all the Cars 3 veterans except T.G. Castlenut, Lane Lock, and the Rev and Go Racer, and then I have all the next gens. We would try to get any more lenticular cars. Yeah, no, definitely. I want to get the lenticular chases I don't have, specifically ones that don't exist as regular variants. Mater with the glow-in-the-dark lamp is high on my list right now. Do you remember Cars Ushis? Yeah, I should have bought them when they were out. Who's better, the Rescue Squad Trooper or Highway Patrol? I think I prefer Highway Patrol, honestly. But both of them are kind of equally useless in this series. I just want regular police cars, guys. This is the closest we have. I've never seen Glee, it quite frankly scares me. Then why'd you ask? Do you even know if they covered that song on Glee? They're so similar, the Rescue Squad Trooper and Axle Accelerator. I don't really have a preference. From a distance, they're the same item. There wasn't a Muppet episode of Glee, no. Now you're messing with me. I have read the Glee page on the Muppet Wiki, I'll give you that. Now I need to go to the Muppet Wiki and check. There was a Sesame Street parody of Glee. Oh, somebody sings It's Not Easy Being Green on Glee. Okay. Oh, and they did a Rainbow Connection in Season 4 of Glee. Okay. There's no Muppet episode of Glee. We've been gaslit. I might pick up the US if I plan on replacing my tuners. I think I'll probably pick up a regular Thailand Wingo the next time they put him out. I really liked the Thailand Wingo with flames. And so I might replace him in Cars Adventures. I'm not entirely sure. I'll continue to gaslight everyone into belief here. There's more Muppet content than there actually is. Thanks, Purple Toad. Now we're all talking about Glee. I've never watched it, I just know the Sesame Street parody. I don't really have a plan to get Impound Snot Rod. I have so many Snot Rods at this point. I have the regular one, the Flames one, the metallic one, the color changer. I really don't have plans to. I wanted to get the Impound tuners so that I could have variants of the tuners I didn't have variants of before. So that I could have another Wingo and Boost. And, so I don't really have interest in getting Snot Rod. But I should eventually. So next Cars Adventures episode should be out hopefully tomorrow. It's obviously taking a little longer because I went on break and now I've been getting it back up and running. I wanted to take a little hiatus halfway through the season and then we're gonna go back to the regular schedule. But it's another Fillmore episode. It's gonna pay off the last one. We'll see. Next Errors and Inconsistencies, I honestly have no idea. I brought it back a few months ago, but it's really just a series I don't enjoy making anymore. I'll get back to it eventually, but I really just don't have interest in continuing it. I will, but I don't really, I just don't enjoy making it anymore. Where's Cars Randomness? Cars Randomness I only do every few months. That's kind of the point. So I did the last one pretty recently. Cars Randomness, usually it's like 4 to 6 months between episodes. I'm thinking probably July for the next one, honestly. I don't like overdoing Cars Randomness. It's supposed to be like a special thing. Oh, I did it in April. Yeah, so maybe July at the earliest. What car are you most looking forward to review right now from all the ones I have? I really want to review the Disney Store Muir. The English Cars Wiki is getting bad. It's been bad for a very long time. It's okay, I'm allowed to say that I have an account over there. I tried to help, it didn't work. Well, hopefully at least one Cars Wiki is good. It's okay, I'm friends with one of them. I'm friends with a lot of people. I want to open Nelson Blind Spot. Yeah, Venom 3 looks like another Venom movie. I don't know what I was expecting. I went into the trailer and I was like, oh, it looks like another Venom. I really like that they're playing into presenting them like they're a dysfunctional couple. I think that's really funny. Just from a meta perspective. Venom Horse goes hard. I'm excited to see, because I assume they're going to use Null as the villain, which is what I was hoping for. He's a pretty recent character, but he works great as a final boss for Venom. Yeah, see, I don't really care that much about Toxin. It's not that special to me if it's just another symbiote. That's why I'm assuming they're gonna use Null. I know people were hyping up Toxin, but isn't Toxin just another member of the symbiote crew that Riot from the first movie was from? Like, it's nothing that special. It's just another. It's just another recolor. Oh, Toxin is okay. Toxin's a little different. Toxin is dead in the comics. Toxin. Oh, Toxin died off screen. It looks like. Okay. How many appearances? Toxin's only appeared in 10 issues, but hey, this is Sony. Of course he's only been in 10 issues, right? I think people are really misinterpreting that Pixar interview. They didn't say we're only doing sequels. They said they're trying to balance making original content with sequels, which is what they already were trying to do for the past several years. I'm really surprised it went over that poorly. I read that whole interview. I was like, oh, okay, seems all right. All of Disney's trying to course correct right now. And to me, from everything I've read, Pixar's been making some of the best decisions, quite frankly, compared to their other divisions. Thoughts on the X-Men '97 finale? I don't really remember it, but it was pretty solid. It was pretty solid. There's good stuff in there. There's a really fun setup for the second season. Yeah, I just like pretending there isn't a fifth Toy Story in development. We should all live in denial, guys. If we all live in denial, then nobody shows up to see that movie, and then it bombs, and then they finally learn their lesson. The mater on the left is the, welcome Marcus, sorry you're not feeling well. This is the, this came with the Disney Store set this Grem thing comes with. It's really cheap. All the decals are stickers. All the stickers are falling off. Yeah, see, I don't think Frozen 3 is a bad idea. It's very hard for me to, if you have a story to tell, then a sequel's worth doing. It's very, very, very case by case. It's very case by case. In the case of Frozen 3, I see it as, you already made 2, I'm sure you could do a third one. I thought the second Frozen was perfectly fine. At this point, they're milking Toy Story. They've been milking Toy Story. I'm sure Inside Out 2 will be perfectly fine. I always like how not only is there a Frozen 3 in development, there's already a Frozen 4 being planned. Actually, Frozen 3 and 4, I was just going to bring up Frozen 4. Frozen 3 and 4 are supposed to be a two-part, finale story. They're pulling an Avengers or a Harry Potter. They're pulling we split the last movie into 2 parts. And that's interesting to me. I want to see how Disney animation pulls off something like that. That's a really unique... That's not a thing you see... that's interesting. I'll probably see Inside Out too when it's just on streaming. Not a Transformers fan, no. It's one of the franchises I could just never get into. Why do I keep bringing up the Muppets that has nothing to do with this? Because you're mourning how dead a franchise they are, just like me. Disney have been singing we're doing a sequel a lot right now. Oh. That song's outdated now, because Gonzo says, while we wait for Tom Hanks to make Toy Story 4. Pretty soon they're gonna have to change the lyrics to Toy Story 6. Doing a sequel, reactions will be mixed while we wait for Tom Hanks to make Toy Story 6. There we go. I'm just saying, guys, if they make more, like, what I'm saying regarding the fact that they're making another Toy Story is if you're just gonna keep making them, then don't make the 5th one be another pseudo finale, you know? 3 was supposed to be the last one, then 4 was supposed to be the last one. If you're just gonna keep making them, don't make 5 have an ending where it's gonna feel like the last one, if you're not gonna make it the last one. If you're just gonna keep making them, then stop acting like you're ending. What's a Pixar movie you want to see get a sequel? You can't say Cars 4. Well, I wouldn't say Cars 4, but I'd like to see another Incredibles. I think they should do a 3rd one. I would never want a Cars 4. It's one of the worst ideas I can think of. Toy Story 3 is one of my favorite movies, period. But it is upsetting now to see. And I don't mind Toy Story 4. I don't. But, like, stop. You're still holding on. Let go. Toy Story 5 should start with them playing the last scene of Toy Story 4, and then Woody turns to the camera and goes, "Bro, it was just a prank, bro! Bro!" And none of it was real. I think you could do a lot with a 3rd Incredibles. I know a lot of people would suggest what they suggested when Incredibles 2 was coming out and age the characters up, which would be interesting, but I think at this point you just gotta keep them as is. Andrew Stanton's directing. Okay. See, the thing is, I don't not have faith in Toy Story 5. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. That's the thing. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll probably be on par with 4, which I thought was fine. Weaker than the original and 3, yeah. But fine. That's the problem. Because I know it's going to be perfectly adequate. Which means it'll do well. Which means they'll make another one. Well, the ending of Toy Story 4 is supposed to be very sweet. I like the ending of Toy Story 4. I'd say the ending's probably the best part. If you don't want Cars 4, then why make your own Cars 4? Why am I always asked this? I guess that's what I get. Ty's Cars 4 was me doing a fan film to celebrate the legacy of the Cars franchise and hypothetically discuss where it could go from where it ended in a way that could please fans and specifically fans. It doesn't mean I want them to make another movie. I think that's a terrible idea. It was just me having a way to pay tribute to the franchise for its anniversary. Like The Incredibles takes place in the 1950s, it limits what you could do because you can't make it too modern or anything. I'll just say time accurate. Well, that's how a period piece works. That's how it goes. Can't wait for Dash to go on TikTok. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What would the potato heads look like in a Cars world? I don't want to think about that. They're making Toy Story 5 released on the 30th anniversary. That's not a bad idea. It is slated for 2020. Oh no, that's next year. Worst Marvel movie. From the MCU, probably something recent. The Marvels was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Genuinely one of the worst movies I've watched in my life. When are you reviewing the McQueen and Francesco 2-pack? I'm not sure. I have like 30 cars to review right now, and since that's such a unique item, I'm trying to find a good place to break from the other items and review that. I'm thinking maybe halfway through. Oh yeah, She-Hulk's the worst. Secret Invasion also was terrible. Marvel needs a win right now. Thoughts on Moana 2? I said it like it was already out. The trailer seemed fine. Good. I'm glad to see it's getting a decently positive reaction. Seems alright. My concerns about it looking bad or being bad because it was originally a TV show have subsided. I'm of the opinion the MCU should have ended with Endgame. We shouldn't have continued from there. Did you see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? I did. It was pretty good. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where they take it from here. Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts movie seems like an insane decision. I don't think it being hybrid is the worst part. I think them saying hybrid doesn't mean it's going to look like the terrible live action remakes. You know, it's going to be like a Roger Rabbit scenario. Yeah. If the MCU ended at Endgame, we wouldn't have No Way Home. But if the MCU ended at Endgame, we wouldn't be asking for No Way Home. We wouldn't know we wanted it, you know? It's nice to have, but I would sacrifice that in exchange for all the terrible stuff we've gotten. I don't know. Yeah, the concept of a Cars prequel always sounded stupid to me because, like, it's McQueen's year. There's nothing interesting there. That's been explored extensively in outside media. And, like, the ending would be boring because we already know how things... You know, it has the classic prequel problem. I quote What Killed the Dinosaurs, the Ice Age, far more than I should. Do you see the piece by piece trailer? I don't think anybody cares about Pharrell enough to watch that. I have no problem with him, but I'm just saying. What'd you say is the line you quote the most? Oh, it varies from day to day. No, I don't think I will is one of my most quoted lines. That's probably it. I say that all the time. Like it was Snoop Dogg will make it worth it. No, I don't think I will is probably my most quoted line. You're still holding on, let go, which I actually said earlier. I just dropped a car. Good job. What's your favorite scene in 3 of your favorite movies? What are my three favorite movies? I like the scene and. Never mind. I couldn't think of anything. I don't know what. You know what? What I say my favorite movie is depends on who asks. If I'm with like a cinema snob, I have to like I can't say that I like Marvel movies. You know, I like Star Wars. I like The Prestige. It's one of my favorite movies. That's not like tied to a franchise. A good one. It's an earlier, not earlier. It's a Christopher Nolan movie from around I want to say 2005, 2006. It's a personal favorite. Favorite scenes in the Cars movies. My favorite scene from the first Cars movie is the scene where Lightning McQueen, almost dies. Oh, that's like half the movie. Favorite scene from the first Cars is, let's see. My favorite scene from Cars 3 is the opening race montage. I just really love how that was handled. It's a really good callback to the first movie, and I think in some respects it works better than the opening of the first movie. I really love that opening. Yeah, see, you could tell people The Dark Knight's your favorite movie and they won't look down on you. What franchise do you want to be known for? Well, considering I've run a Cars channel for 7 years, I'd say Cars, but I want to be I want to be remembered for the Machete movies. I've seen part of Ford vs Ferrari. I've been wanting to watch the Adam Driver Ferrari movie. I feel like I heard nobody talk about that. But I want to see it because Adam Driver is really good. And I just want to know how it is. I feel like nobody talked about it. He's under such heavy prosthetics, like, you can't tell it's him. Yeah, see, but in my opinion, the highway scene just feels like it's trying to be a cheap copy of Life as a Highway. It just doesn't work as well. What's your favorite Muppet movie scene? The best scene in the entire Muppet movie franchise? When Celine Dion shows up. Have you ever wanted to buy a car just to strip the paint off of it? No, because I never strip paint, I just paint over. I have wanted to buy a Ramon to smash the window open to see what the radiator spring sign inside looks like. Favorite Cars song from the first movie? Ooh, I guess probably Real Gone. I don't know. Probably Our Town. Oh, I'm number one is great. Muppets Most Wanted probably has my favorite Muppet movie soundtrack. Everything on there is so iconic. It's so funny. Can't you drill it? I could, but I don't have a Ramon to use. What gave them the idea of having generic Western pop song for a highway travel montage? Have you seen Life is a Highway? It's the exact same thing. I always wanted the extended cut of Muppets Most Wanted, the Blu-ray, but I just have the DVD. Yeah, in the 2011 Muppet movie, there's a Cars 2 sign. In Muppets Most Wanted, there's a Cars Land sign. I just think it's funny. The fact that they just didn't make that a trilogy is really disappointing to me. Should have just made a third one and not done what they've done with the Muppets for the past 10 years. See, what I like about Jackson Storm is like, they're similar, but they are very different characters. Jackson Storm just has this like, I don't know, it's he's a jerk in a different way. I like to think that sign changes every night to reflect the latest Cars related media. Probably changes once every 4 years or so. Is Rex's Y-Wing out yet? Did that come out June 1st? I saw some of the new Mando sets, or the 2 new Mando sets at Target yesterday. I'm not sure when the Rex Y-Wing's coming out, because I gotta be on the lookout for that. I like to think that the Cars Land Sign and the Muppets now says Tide Talks Live late 7/8/24. Yeah, well, Jackson wasn't supposed to be funny. Chick Hicks is, like, pompous and unaware of it. Chick Hicks thinks people like him. Jackson Storm knows people like him. Jackson Storm is basically McQueen's old self before coming to Radiator Springs and knowing how arrogant he once was. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I still can't buy the fact that the Muppet Theater was the Al Capitan Theater in that universe. Not believable. Oh yeah, I guess it was. Oh, so the Rex Y-Wing is out. I gotta look for that. Cool. Lego Star Wars sets have been releasing like every other month this year, which I think is cool, but it's been hard to keep track. Yes, I saw the one comic Chick Hicks' father's in. It's a funny inclusion. Was he a pickup truck? I don't remember. I saw the panel like once. Oh, so Chick Hicks is a sympathetic villain. Chick Hicks wasn't evil, guys. Society did it to him. I think a tuner spinoff is just a weak idea. They don't have personalities. They're not the worst Cars characters to make spinoffs for, but, like, it's not necessary. It's very hard to sell me on a Cars spinoff that I would think would be a necessary movie. Yeah, I think deleted scene cars is a real, or concept art cars would be a great idea. I've seen a lot of other toy lines do concept art items. It always works really cool. I have a lot of Star Wars figures that are based on concept art. Okay, hear me out. There's a plane, right? It's a crop duster. Okay. And that crop duster wants to race, right? Okay. Okay. If In 2025, the only new releases are cars on the road. How would you feel? I'd feel like giving up. But he's afraid of heights. Okay, see, now that's interesting. Stop talking, Mater, please, buddy. What about one where McQueen just in fact he's old and not as up to date as he once was, but is dealing with his old itch to race again? That's just the plot of Cars 3. Yeah, see, now if you had a D-Tornado fire, if you make a Cars movie about the origins of the D-Tornado fire, now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Is he voiced by Dan Cook by any chance? I don't know. That seems like a really unfunny, unlikable person to cast as your lead. But John Cryer did just pull out from the role, so I guess so. Howdy Cowboys, this is my new film. If the Toy Story 5 trailer starts with that line, I will drop all my issues with it. Yeah, Dane Cook seems like the type of person who'd make jokes about car crashes. Dane Cook sucks. Can we just talk about that for a minute? Like, nobody's favorite comedian is Dane Cook. Have you listened to Queen? Queen, like the band Queen? Like one of the most famous bands of all time, Queen? I'm aware of Queen. I know several Queen songs. Or are you just asking if I've listened to the Queen of England speak? Because I don't think I ever heard her voice. She's no longer with us. Dane Cook is the voice of Dusty Dropper. Yeah, see, I think any car spinoff that's just make movie about different type of vehicle, I just don't, you know? How do you feel about slow to reverted song, like slow to reverb? Depends on the song. Depends how bored I am. Guys, I have a great idea. We're gonna make a car spinoff, and it's gonna be about boats. But the main character, who's yellow, painted yellow, wants to race in the Great Boat Rally Cup. So it finds a mentor, and this mentor is blue, and it has a shady past and doesn't want to do something it used to do. So the boat teams up with its friend, who makes an uncomfortable amount of unfunny jokes and just has the worst voice. And they team up, and they race. We'll call it Idea Bankruptcy, the movie, starring Tom Cruise and the girl from Wednesday. Dadgum Nightcore. I'm still waiting for someone to make Nightcore Dadgum. Yes, I mean Jenna Ortega. I don't know why I didn't say her name. Oh no, now everyone thinks I don't know her name. And he's a racing boat. Yeah, he's a boat and he wants to race. And the boat's name is Protagonist. Yeah, Mater's just, he's just envious of the better product. Oh, I forgot the evil green boat. You're right. Sorry, yeah, several people have mentioned that. You guys are right. I forgot about the evil green boat. Who have you got against boats, huh? You bet Dex looks like a mafia boss. Yeah, that was the point. That was the joke. He has to disappear from the second movie. That's just a rule. He's not relevant anymore. Well, in the sequel, we're going to do something wildly different from the first movie, where one of the main characters is going to have some sort of separate occupation, and learn a big lesson from it. Then we'll either get a third movie, or we won't. It's 50-50 with the Cars series. Yeah, we've established the antagonist is green. Yes, it is. Yes. Describe the plot of Disney's Trains. There's a train who wants to race in the big upcoming train race. So he teams up with a blue vehicle who previously did something and now can no longer do said thing, but he'll begrudgingly train our protagonist. There's also an evil green train who wants to win and is very pompous. And there's also a comic relief whose jokes hit maybe once every 20 times. You think Cars 2 is a fundamentally bad idea? I don't know. I like the fact that there's a Cars movie that doesn't focus on the Piston Cup. Is the spy stuff stupid? Yeah, but the concept of McQueen doing a worldwide race is a fun idea. Have you seen Family Guy? Only the unfunny parts. Oh wait, that's the whole show. Ugh. They separate the two plots from each other, people won't be complaining. I think if they separated the plots, people would complain more, because then your movie just has a spy subplot that has nothing to do with the rest. No, we already did air vehicles. But at this point, Disney's so creatively bankrupt, I could see them greenlighting helicopters and just acting like planes didn't happen. Thank you for joining us, Elijah. Disney's Roomba stars a red Roomba that wants to compete in a house-wide Roomba race and gets help from an old blue Roomba that doesn't want to anymore. They compete against a pop and screen Roomba. Now you're onto something. Guys, I think this joke is tired now. This is the part where everybody just says, joke about insert vehicle here. I think we've had enough. I love more Cars tunes. I'm very opposed to additional Cars media. If it's more Cars tunes, I will not complain. Unless they're bad. But they probably wouldn't be. Lane. That was my voice. Sorry, I accidentally unmuted my stream. Funniest thing you've seen in all media. There's this guy on YouTube who made a video called Tractor Shorts number 2, the Tractor King. Funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. If they do a new Cars tune for 2025, what one would they do next? I'm hoping they do Rescue Squad Mater, personally. Yeah, I don't think we need Super Chases back. We need Deluxes back is what we need back. I don't really care about Super Chases. I don't have a problem with the fact that they're gone. Why do you think we got one new car from the movie last year and this year? Because they care just enough to tell you, yes, we'll still make things from the movies. It's just their way of saying, yes, we're still making things from the movies while we're doing on-the-road stuff, you know? I think it's their way of saying, no, we're not done making new stuff from the movie. Just hold on a little longer. There's no reason not to bring back Roscoe or the normal tractor now. Well, now it makes them look bad, because now you can call them out. If they release Roscoe and you see that the last Roscoe was a deluxe, now you can call him out for him never needing to be one. It puts them in a really bad place when deluxes are back. When deluxes inevitably return, it's going to be really awkward because you've just proven how easy it is to make cars that are larger not deluxes. I love the collector cards. How dare you? That's one of my favorite things I've ever packed in with cars items. I adore the collector cards. Thank you. Trent Croto wouldn't fit in a single bubble. Maybe if you wish hard enough. You could just tilt the cart. Yeah. I feel like, Trent Croto, I think, is probably very low on the list of cars they want to re-release. But I could totally see them just pulling someone random like him. I think at some point soon we'll probably, I think we'll probably see some airport cars at some point soon, I think. I think it's a matter of time. We've gotten a lot of Cars 2 Chokyo, Radiator Springs, and London cars for the past few years. I think it's time to go to Italy. Paris cars, yeah, yeah, we need Paris cars back. Alexis Wilson is certainly one that I could see them making a single. Have you read the Glow Racers book? No, I don't really have a need to. I've seen it. If I had to bring back an old idea from the Cars line, I want those 3-packs that were vertical blisters. I feel like those could work well in modern day. Interesting. Not a bad idea. They didn't do them for long. They did a few 4-packs and vertical blisters as well. I think there are more significant Cars 2 releases we need before Tombe, but he seems like a good one to bring back, certainly. You think they'll make a book for the GRC line? I could see them doing that, honestly. It's been very prominent. Favorite song from your life's original soundtrack? What's that supposed to mean? Leland Turbo and Redbird Redline are not as... they're more desirable than Tombe, but... they don't seem like they would be re-released anytime soon. I think if you're really going to complain about them not making a Cars 2 item, you need to say Grim and Acer. Music you've heard in your lifetime. I like the one song that goes, ah! They just scream. That's my life's original soundtrack. hologram stickers are all falling off still. Thank you for asking. I think you could even see just from the angle the camera's at. Mater too. And Chick's original name was Chick Murphy. Yeah, I talked about that in a video once. Somewhere in one of the icebergs. It's in the third one. There are, I want to say 384 Chick X stickers. It's been documented somewhere. John Kremlin was really smarter than Professor Z. Professor Z, buddy, you want to talk? Yeah, it's in the collector guide, yes. Thank you for joining us, Cameron. Yeah, so regular Professor Z, he's out in a 2-pack. So regular Professor Z has been out in 5 different ways over the span of 2 years. Only 2 years, but 5 different ways to get him. Gonna remake an old video of yours. It might be worth it one day. I don't know what. Was there one you had in mind? Eric Breaker's the Synergy Eraser, but okay. Spiky's the little turkey pistons one. We're not still having this debate, are we? It's been 6 years. Let it go, please. Ratchet, I hope you included the correct amount of dots in that. I hope that's the exact amount of dots that I had in the title of that video. I did not. Oh man. Foiled again. So you remake the first Cars Adventures episode. I actually did that in 2018, I think. For the anniversary of the series, I remade the first episode. It just wouldn't work now because of how I have my layout now, right? Unless I want to invade my Marvel Legends display and hang Mater off the side next to the X-Men. Who's the goofiest person I live with? It's my pet Kowakian monkey lizard, Megan. Nobody ever asks me how the Kowakian monkey lizard is doing. I guess I just don't show it in enough videos. But it's doing just fine. She's hanging out. The Alice is okay too. Thanks, guys. You got the miscellaneous things I've picked up on my Disney trips over the years. They're all just fine. They're hanging out. Bring her on camera. The monkey lizard I can't. The monkey lizard is very stationary. It's not gonna budge. I could bring you Alice though. She could hang out for a minute. Here she is. From the Disney vlog. That's my favorite video I've ever made and nobody watched it. Alice reveal cam. You see Mattel make another diecast car that's not from the movie, but in theory could have been in the movie, like the Crew Chiefs. Other than like Crew Chiefs and Pitties, I can't think of one unless they make like Harv or something. Thank you for joining us, Diecast Mania Cars. Rip's Crew Chief. I think Rip's Crew Chief is in the movie. I think we were just wrong. He's not. Come on, Ted, we all know Harv is canonically the phone itself. Right. Oh, fake fan. Like, I can see a fake fan model. Yeah, I think they've done that already in Cars 2. Something like that is easy. Something like Rodney the Rocker, where nobody is gonna know that it doesn't exist, you know? Until we find it and we look and we realize it's not there. Something like that. In the movie, Rip only has Pitties. Okay, yeah, see, I knew we saw Rip's pit row. Yeah, the Crew Chief is cut off. You can't see him. Naming his Crew Chief Brian Gierlewski, absolute power move. Wish I came up with that one. I think Rodney's just severely inaccurate. See, that is one way to think of it. We found Rodney like a year ago, did we? Love how I just casually drop hints about my personal life that you won't acknowledge. Anyway, what's your least favorite 2009 canceled item? High and low, Ramon. Get out of here. I don't remember. Probably one of the Pitties. The Rev and Go Crew Chief. I have beef with the Rev and Go Crew... Or no, the N2O Cola Crew Chief, sorry. That is the worst face I've seen in the history of Cars diecasts. He looks like he's sneezing and on every drug he could find at the same time. High and Low Ramon was made. It was just the prototype name for Hydraulic Ramon. Like the raised up purple Ramon. Well, it's not necessarily that they chose the wrong screenshot. It depends on what Rodney the Rocker theory you believe. Because the car they show has the right decals to be Rodney. He's just not Rodney. We do need, yeah, we need Thailand to make a non-hydraulic yellow Ramon. I'm surprised they haven't yet, considering the fact they've given us hydraulic Ramon twice. I know that's re-releasing the hydraulic yellow Ramon is easier than making a new yellow Ramon, but we were so robbed of the several McQueen pose releases. I think those would have looked terrible, quite frankly. I think the jumping one would have been fine, but sidestepping McQueen would have been a nightmare. I'm just trying to think of it. That would totally disrupt my display. Looks so weird. If they're posed like how the Maters are posed, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But for McQueen, it would have looked rough. I like when you do the news videos on new diecasts, but I get you're busy. Oh, there are no new diecasts for me to do news on. If there were, I would have made a news video. Yeah, when news comes out, it becomes my priority to report on it. There's just nothing new. After the poster came out, there's been nothing that I've thought was worth reporting on. In the words of Newt Gunray, no need to report that until we have something to report. Yeah, I think that's why I just try to call hydraulic Ramon Red Ramon, just so I don't confuse people. There were package leaks. Will they confirm that the Union Jack Ramon we're getting this year is the non-paint gun one, which makes this year's re-releases a little better? I have to get that. That's gonna be this year's best re-release. Not that there's much competition. This year's re-releases suck, but there she is. Wasn't he called Cruisin' Ramon somewhere? No, you're thinking of old school Ramon, who was originally called Cruisin' Ramon. You could buy clothes for her. I should have bought her. You could buy like a first order officer uniform. I should have bought Alice that. It was like $20. She was $20, and I think it was like $10 for the clothing. She just has like you could take the dress off, she has a little tank top on under, which is really funny. Because it's Velcro. You got other outfits. What'd you say is the worst rename for a diecast? Anytime they removed the variant name and just called it the character's name, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Rusty's Dynaco Cruise also. Yes, thank you, Rajan. Rusty's Dynaco Cruise is the most embarrassingly bad name I've seen them do. I understand you cut the Racing Center from On the Road, but Racing Center Cruise is still perfectly fine because it's a training suit. Rusty's Dynaco Cruise is insane. I always forget it exists. I've just kind of colloquialized it as On the Road Cruise myself. That's what I think of it as. The Bomb-Mater wasn't renamed. There's 9 times they renamed variants. And also, the worst. First name McQueen being changed to just McQueen. Yeah, that doesn't bother me as much as, like, Ramones. Because I could, you know... Yeah, the on the road Ramon just being called Ramon is really annoying. It's a new variant. At least Union Jack Ramon is being called Union Jack Ramon, but the poster showed Union Jack Ramon with paint gun, which made me go on for months about how this year has the worst re-releases. It still does, but that one makes things a little better. Blue Lightning! At the very least, Union Jack Ramon, you know, so I think maybe we're getting somewhere. We're on the right track. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna just call it on the road Ramon in my review. I've debated between that and Dino Park Ramon. I know Dino Park is the episode, but calling him Dino Park Ramon makes it seem like he's at the Dino Park. Ironically, them messing up Ramon Green paid off because we have 2 Cars 2 Ramones this year, yeah. I mean, Ramon Green is still the greatest typo in history. Can someone put that on, like, r/graphic design fails? No, they didn't call Bigfoot Big Wheel because Big Wheel is an obscure Spider-Man villain. They called Bigfoot Bigfoot because they called Bigfoot Bigfoot. That was a joke I made. I hope the next Ramon is just called Ram. I'm personally hoping it's just called Moan. Well, Axel Rowe didn't make it to shelves. That was just the prototype name. I hope the next meter is just called... I like that you made sure to close the quotations. Thank you. I hope they finally re-release Tokyo Mater like everyone's been begging, but they claim it was seen in Rescue Squad Mater. And they call it Mater with Lightning Bolt hat. And it's part of the Glow Racers. That'd be fun. How do you come up with episodes of Cars Adventures? It's hard to explain, honestly. I'm not really sure where it comes from. But in the guise of trying to give advice, you just gotta think of something that's fun, but also stays true to the character, you know? There's a lot out there, you just have to be creative. I never really know how to give advice to people that are trying to start Cars series. But, I mean, I hope that helps slightly. See, I don't get why people are so mad over Alan Aiken-Axler. I've seen people get hilariously upset. It's like, guys, you could still call him Aiken. Why does this matter? A lot of people don't know this, but back in late 2020, when the 2021 release of Aiken-Axler first leaked, he was called Alan Aiken-Axler on listings. And nobody blinked at it. I talked about that at the time in a video. Nobody paid attention to it, and it happens this year. I hope the next New Cars on the Road release is called nothing because they stopped the New Cars on the Road release. Sick burn, bro. He does look like an Alan. Alan. I just don't think it matters. He doesn't even speak in the movie. Thank you, Calypso. Thank you for understanding that reference. They don't call me roasted and upper acid for nothing. That sounds like the next special at Arby's. You need a better nickname. Accidentally had it for nothing. Okay, good, then you're fine. Hey, Tokyo Mater with oil stains and flames would be pretty sick. Uncanceling Tokyo... Look, if they choose to uncancel Tokyo Mater with flames instead of re-releasing regular Tokyo Mater, I'm not going to complain. Well, yeah, Arby's does exist in the Cars canon. Thanks, Planes 2. Love you. You know, Planes 2, the movie that gave us honkers and nothing else of value. Not Julian Aiken's new name, but he was Aiken for 17 years, not counting the 2021 original name. Yeah, but, like, the thing is, like, his name is still Aiken. You could still call him Aiken. Oh, yeah, the Roombas are from Planes 2. Okay, then. Like, if I told you all my real name, you all would still call me Ty. It doesn't change how you address me. My real name is Adam Driver. Somebody in the comments is going to be like, wait, really? Alright, we're going to wrap things up in a few minutes here, I think. It's getting late. Planes 2 did give us Kate the Corncob Girl, the greatest character in fiction ever, so. I've had a lot of people ship me with Cars characters, primarily Bye Bye Car. I'm just saying, Kate the Corncob Girl. That's been one of my most wanted Planes items for a very long time. Wouldn't it be so insane if I revealed that my name was actually Tysonitis? That'd be so funny. I have immense regret not buying Tysonitis when I saw him in that store in 2017. I wish I could be as cool as Tysonitis. Yes, I've been talking about Tysonitis for the last, like, minute, man. Silence indeed. Maybe that's my cue to wrap things up. Yeah, we'll end in a couple minutes. If you hear background noise other than my air conditioner, that's me just jangling around the key launchers. Anyway. Ugh, I almost knocked over my tripod. Could you imagine? That'd be insane. It would fall. I think that happened once, actually. Anyway. I'd like to take this time to thank all of you for joining us here tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully some new videos coming out tomorrow. Gonna have to take a look at my old pal, the Rescue Squad Trooper. Gonna have to bring Cars Adventures back. And that's about it. Bye now.